Right, time to talk business with our partners 2 Degrees. The scales are tipping towards a bigger cut in the interest rates when the Reserve Bank's Monetary Policy Committee votes this week. Garth Bray, Business Desk, is with us. Garth, good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
I've just taken the mickey out of your name all morning.
Oh, really?
Had many other Garths in your class at school?
Not a one. I'm pretty sure I was the only one in my year.
Really?
Yeah.
Not a very common name, is it? Where's it from? Like, what does it mean?
I think it's Old English for garden. There you go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. So, no green thumb here.
Okay. His favourite song of mine, by the way, Garth Brooks, we're talking about the other famous Garth, is Friends in Low Places.
That tallies perfectly for you, doesn't it, Ryan?
Garth, what are we talking about this morning?
So the OCR, we're going to have the Monetary Policy Committee making that decision later this week, and we're seeing a lot of economists increasingly coming out from banks saying, hey, look, we actually think that there's slightly more chance than we expected of a 50-point basis cut, just based on the GDP data that we've seen out in the last little while. Bit of a caution or a caveat that we expect the quarterly survey of business opinion to pop out tomorrow from one of the independent institutes, and traditionally the bank has put a bit of stock in that, so if that comes out with a figure that suggests, hey, just temper your enthusiasm, but if there's any indication that there's effectively that the weakness in the economy persists, then you'd expect to see the expectation lift even higher.
Double whamms.
Yeah, at the moment there's the swap rates on lending and borrowing basically is suggesting it's slightly favouring a 25-point cut at the moment,
okay.
But you're getting increasing numbers. I think Paul Bloxham, the HSBC economist who talked about us having a rock star economy.
Rock star? Yeah,
he's saying, look, his expectation is for 50 and then 25, hitting 2.25 by the end of the year. You're seeing the same kind of talk probably from ASB. I think ANZ is still a bit cautious.
Definitely Kiwi Bank's leading the pack on that call too.
And a lot of them are pulling their rates down. I don't think you'll struggle to find fixed term interest anywhere over 4% anywhere at the moment.
It's interesting as well because you look up at the makeup of the Monetary Policy Committee, which will not include Anna yet. She's still packing her hiking gear over in Sweden.
I think she's still got another week, 12th. She finishes at the Riksbank.
And then it starts here December 1.
Yeah.
So you've still got Hawkesby on there, because 6 members, still got Hawkesby on there, but you've got Buckle who's left.
Yeah, and you've got 2 who I think voted for a deeper cut last time.
2 doves there. You've got Buckle left, who's apparently quite hawkish, so whoever replaces him, they reckon will go with the consensus. Hawkesby on the way out, probably go with the consensus. So that report you're talking about tomorrow from NZIR could actually be quite crucial.
Yeah. I think a lot of people will be looking for that. I mean, all of this, of course, means that our dollar against currencies like the Aussie are headed for, they're going to test new lows. It seems to be the prediction that, we could be back sort of where we were 2022 kind of thing, which is, I guess, great if you're trying to sell stuff over there, not great if you're trying to buy it or take a holiday.
Now, space exploration is bringing us closer to Colorado.
Yeah. Which is, this is interesting, I guess. Businesses don't just do business with a country, right? In fact, they normally do business with other businesses. But you've got people from the state of Colorado Trade Mission over here because our two-way trade with Colorado and New Zealand is actually at quite high levels, I think about 100 million a year. And they were in the top 10 of countries that supply foreign direct investment to that state. So they've basically gone, hey, look, New Zealand, we like what you're doing. You're setting up offices. A lot of your companies like your Halters and Xero and others have got bases there in Denver, you're employing our locals, you're doing some interesting stuff with aerospace. So they're down for the Aerospace Summit that's on in Christchurch this week, and they're going to be taking a look around some of the science facilities we have for aerospace, for space flight, and geothermal, because obviously New Zealand's got a lot of the hot rocks underground and we're pretty good at working on that. So they're interested, and they signed up a memorandum of cooperation, which is effectively just a licence to come and take a look around, I suppose, with Judith Collins when she was up there earlier this year.
Captain Judy's down. She'll be there this week, won't she?
She'll be right across it, beaming in. But it's interesting that we're being seen as not, at state levels, and I guess if you can get disappointed, I suppose, about our prospects of relationships with a big country like America, but often it's a little bit local. We've already got to deal with California on sort of climate-related stuff. This is a deal with Colorado on more, exploring how to do more of the space type and high-tech stuff, which is kind of interesting inroads into a very, very booming economy.
Very big industry indeed, and only growing bigger. What are we doing with the Indians and infrastructure?
Yeah, well, this is another little, another little piece of the mosaic to build closer to a free trade agreement. But we sign up to this Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, which is basically like India and Modi saying, hey, we've had bad earthquakes in our country, how can we get better at working this stuff out? How can we work with other countries to get the data to build back better, the money to build back better? Let's tie it in with some little, Pacific states and so on. This is a little bit like their way of expanding their influence in the world. We've signed up to it, Australia's signed up to it. It's pretty loose stuff. It's not committing to any particular funding, but it's basically identifying where the problems are and saying where are the opportunities. And they're saying that basically over the next 20 years, we'll build more stuff, roads, railways, whatever it is, infrastructure, than we have in the last 200. There's about $161 trillion worth of opportunities out there. Let's try and do it right, though, because some of their research has looked at the costs of climate, the costs of hazards on our economy, and saying, look, on average, you're going to be losing about $1 billion a year building stuff back. If you build it back so that you don't have to build it back next time, so that it's not as disrupted, and we have only got to see what happened in Nelson or in Coromandel.
You've got to future-proof.
You save about $4 for every dollar you spend doing it better. I mean, obviously not every dollar you spend paying for some consultant that didn't really contribute to it or, waffle, but the stuff that actually makes it better.
Don't let it blow away in the wind or fall down a hill in the rain. Garth, great advice. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Garth Bray Business, great name too, by the way. Garth Bray Business says thanks to our partners, 2 Degrees.